Hey everyone, welcome back to Echo Your English. I'm Emily and I'm here with Ryan. We were just sitting here quietly for a moment, and Ryan looked like he was deep in thought.
Yeah, I was definitely in my own head. I've been thinking about habits lately. Not the good ones I like to talk about, but the ones I keep saying I'll change and then don't.
Oh, that already sounds very familiar. When you say habits, what kind are you thinking about?
Small ones, mostly. The kind that don't feel serious but somehow affect your whole day. Like staying up too late, even when I know I'll regret it the next morning.
I relate to that so much. You tell yourself, just one more episode, or just 5 more minutes, and suddenly it's way past midnight.
Exactly. And the next day I'm tired, a bit grumpy, and I wonder why I did that to myself again.
I think that's an important word there. Again, it's rarely a one time thing. It becomes a pattern before you even notice.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that I don't think these habits mean we're lazy or careless. Sometimes they're just comforting.
That's such a good point. Bad habits often feel good in the moment. They help us relax or escape, even if they cause problems later.
For me, another habit I want to change is checking my phone first thing in the morning. Before I even get out of bed, I'm already scrolling.
Oh, wow, same here. And what's funny is, I don't even enjoy it, it's just automatic.
Exactly. And for anyone listening, when we say automatic, we mean we do it without thinking. Our hand just reaches for the phone.
I think a lot of people learning English might notice this habit too, checking messages, social media, notifications, all before their brain is fully awake.
And then your day starts with noise instead of calm.
Yes, I've been trying to replace that habit with something smaller, like just sitting quietly for 1 minute before touching my phone.
I like that idea. It doesn't sound overwhelming, it sounds doable.
That's the key, I think. When we say change a habit, it sounds huge, but sometimes it's just about making a tiny adjustment.
And being kind to yourself when you mess up.
Absolutely, because changing habits isn't about being perfect. It's about noticing, adjusting, and trying again.
I think that's a really comforting thought to sit with.
Something else I've been thinking about is how often habits are connected to emotions, not logic.
That's so true. We like to think we're making rational choices, but most habits are emotional reactions.
Exactly. For example, when I feel stressed, I snack without even being hungry.
Same here. And it's not even about the food, it's about comfort.
Yes, and I think that's important for listeners to hear. When you want to change a habit, it helps to ask, what is this habit giving me?
That's a really good question. For me, staying up late gives me a feeling of control, like the day is finally mine.
Oh, wow, I never thought of it that way, but I feel that too. Nighttime feels quiet, uninterrupted.
Exactly. So instead of saying, I'm bad for staying up late, I try to say, okay, what do I actually need?
That shift in thinking is huge. It turns self criticism into self understanding.
And for English learners listening, self-criticism means being very hard on yourself, and self-understanding means trying to understand your own behavior kindly.
I love how naturally those phrases come up in real conversation. You don't learn them from memorizing lists.
Right, you learn them by hearing people talk honestly.
Another habit I'm trying to change is saying yes too quickly. Saying yes to plans, work, favors, even when I'm exhausted.
Oh, that's a big one. People-pleasing is a tough habit to break.
It really is. And it sounds polite, but sometimes it leads to resentment.
That's such an important word, resentment. It's that quiet anger that builds when you feel pressured.
Exactly. And then you're upset, but no one knows why because you were the one who said yes.
I've been trying to pause before answering, just saying, let me think about it.
That sentence is gold. It's polite, honest, and gives you space.
And it sounds very natural in English, not rude at all.
I think changing habits often starts with changing language, the words we use with others and with ourselves.
That's such a powerful idea. If you say, I always fail, you're reinforcing the habit emotionally.
But if you say, I'm still learning, it feels lighter, more open.
And more realistic.
Definitely. Something else I've noticed is that we often try to change too many habits at once.
Yes, and then we feel overwhelmed and give up completely.
Exactly. We think, okay, starting tomorrow, I'll wake up early, eat healthy, exercise, study English, and stop scrolling.
And that plan lasts about one day.
If that.
I've learned that habits work better when they're almost boring.
I love that phrase, almost boring. It means simple, not exciting.
Right. For example, instead of saying, I'll study English for an hour every day, I say, I'll listen for 5 minutes.
That's such a good strategy. 5 minutes feels easy, and once you start, you often continue.
Exactly. And even if you don't, you still kept the habit alive.
I think that's reassuring for learners. Progress doesn't have to be dramatic.
Another habit I'm working on is how I talk to myself when I make mistakes.
Oh, that's a big one. What do you usually say?
Honestly, things like, how did you mess that up again?
Yeah, that inner voice can be really harsh.
It can, and I realized that voice doesn't help me improve. It just makes me tense.
I try to imagine talking to a friend instead. I'd never say those things to someone else.
That's a great test. If you wouldn't say it to a friend, maybe don't say it to yourself.
Exactly. And for English learners, mistakes are unavoidable. They're part of the process.
Absolutely. Fluency grows from repetition, not perfection.
I love that sentence. It sounds simple, but it's very true.
Another small habit I'm changing is celebrating small wins.
That's such a positive one. What does that look like for you?
Just noticing when I do something right, like remembering a new word or stopping myself from negative self-talk.
That awareness makes a difference. It shifts your focus,
And over time, those small shifts become habits themselves.
which is encouraging because it means habits aren't fixed, they're flexible.
And changeable.
Exactly. You know, listening to us talk, it feels like changing habits isn't really about willpower at all.
I agree. It feels more like awareness. Just noticing what you do and why you do it.
And giving yourself permission to change slowly.
Yes, slowly is important. We often rush ourselves and then feel disappointed.
I think a lot of English learners feel that pressure too. They want to speak perfectly, quickly.
And when that doesn't happen, they feel stuck.
But habits, language habits, life habits, grow through repetition and patience.
And honesty. Being honest about what's hard and what feels comfortable.
I also think it helps to remember that habits don't define who you are.
That's such an important point. A habit is something you do, not something you are.
Exactly. Saying, I have a bad habit feels lighter than saying, I'm bad.
Language matters so much, especially the language we use with ourselves.
For listeners, maybe one small takeaway is to choose just one habit to notice this week.
Not even change it, just notice it.
Yes, observation without judgment.
That alone can be powerful.
And maybe try using some of the phrases we use today in your own life.
Like, let me think about it, or I'm still learning.
Or even, I'll start small.
Those sentences sound simple, but they carry a lot of kindness.
And kindness makes change feel possible.
I think that's a really nice place to end.
Me too. Thanks for listening and spending this time with us.
If you enjoyed this conversation, take a moment to subscribe to Echo Your English and come back again.
And remember, you don't have to be perfect. Just keep listening, keep noticing, and keep echoing English.
See you next time.